Sayaka Miyata. Now, this girl was a blast to watch, always, especially because she always got trolled by Kaminashi. It was either between her or Aoba. I like them both. If you guys watched my reviews on the first few episodes of Keijo, you guys knew I had a thing for Aoba. But in the end, Miyata fought through it because I just love her for two main reasons. First, that she got way more screen time than Aoba, and secondly, her character was way more developed than Aoba. So in the end, it's only right to pick her. Like, how can you say no to that face? Look at her. Look at her. You just want to pinch those cheeks, man. She's adorable. So Miyata Sayaka definitely deserving a spot on this list. We know that Kaminashi loves making fun of her bust size, but don't be mad, Miyata. You may have a small bust, but you are always able to bust up people in Keijo. Miyakoshi Hana. Yes, she is our number 9 best girl of 2016. Now, Working has always had funny characters, very charming characters, but for this spin-off of Hana, she's not weird, but Hana is not weird enough to feel like they're trying too hard with their character. She's perfect. She's in the middle. She's in the neutral zone of weird. And she works in a restaurant and she can't cook. Of course! And not only is she not able to cook, she is ambitious. Her ambition is so strong, she decides to go out with Higashida just so she could strengthen her cooking skill. Her cooking could probably kill the whole population, so thank God she's not real, or we would all die. But as a 2D woman, you got my thumbs up, Hana. Mume, who I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. Look, this show is very, let's just say it's popular. It's very popular, and just like Sword Art Online, it's getting a lot of fucking hate. In my opinion, man, I really enjoyed the series. It was a very fun watch. And Mume, even though she's not the smartest character out there, she is definitely one of the most flashiest women of 2016. Her fight scenes in Kabaneri have got to be one of the most well animated scenes this year. It was awesome to watch, man. When she was fighting against that whole fucking zombie horde of Kabaneri, man, that shit was fucking beautiful. The OST put together with that scene was magnificent. This girl has her problems, and believe me, she does. Not everyone's fan favorite, but you cannot deny the fact that she could fucking fight and she sells every fucking scene she's in. You don't like it, but I do. Fuck, it's my list. Gayo Hinazuki. After watching this show, after watching this really good show, you realize that, you know, abuse is a real thing, and you wouldn't expect to actually feel bad for a character that's, you know, drawn. You'd never think you'd feel bad, but you do. You do. This show does a very good presentation of how abuse can be found pretty much anywhere. This girl goes through so much, and I don't want to really spoil anything about this series, so if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's one of the most popular, and in my opinion, one of the better shows of 2016, even though it had its flaws. Don't get me wrong, every show had its flaws. You know, it was never explained how he went back in time, the antagonist was crap, and it was all fucking obvious. So yeah, it had its problems, but the good things outweigh the bad. And definitely Gayo Hinazuki was a good thing in this show. And all you really wanted in the show, man, is hopefully, because I'm not going to spoil it, you just want to see her live a happy life. Definitely one of the most memorable girls of 2016. This anime New Game had probably the best cast of girls for this whole year. This show was probably Moe of the year in my opinion. So all these girls were fucking awesome to watch. But I had to choose, man. I believe this is definitely the best girl, and the best girl is Takimoto Hifumi. This fucking girl, man. Holy shit. I thought I knew what adorable was, and then I decided to Google the definition of adorable, and guess what happened? Hifumi pops out. Are you fucking serious? Holy shit. This girl, man. I know I just called Miyata adorable, but this is the true definition of cuteness, of kawaii. She talks to this gerbil. This gerbil is, I guess, her best friend, and in every single scene she's in, man, she's always either nervous, she's blushing, because she has a thing for Ova. You know, we know that. We know that's happening. It's so fucking obvious, and yet it never really progressed. But just seeing her antics, her expressions, her mannerisms, it definitely made every scene that she's in hilarious and kawaii. Serenuma Kai. This is the most perverted girl of 2016 by far. She gets that award easily. So a common trope in anime are harems. And usually in those harems, it usually involves a guy with a group of females. But with this case, it's a girl with a group of males. So you would assume that she would slowly start falling in love with each and every single one of these males until she finds the one that she truly wants to be together forever. That's what you'd expect, right? That's a normal girl's fantasy. But Kai, she's different. She doesn't really give a fuck about any of that. She'd rather have them fuck each other. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I'm glad I stuck with this anime. It's definitely one of the funniest series of this season, and a lot of that has to go to Kai. Great character, love her design, love her attitude, and I love the fact that she's so oblivious to the love. Chizuru. This might be solely for nostalgic reasons, but one of the first romance comedy animes I've seen was Kimi no Torike. When I first saw Chizuru, I instantly loved her character, man. She is so resemblant of Todoroki. They both had that funny quirk. When people saw them smile or do something kind, it always seemed like they were doing something shady or scary, causing everyone to usually freak out and run away. So it was actually pretty funny seeing both of them doing the same thing and failing completely. She's not one to really show emotion, so that's why when we do get a scene like that, it's actually much more impactful. Alright, I might be cheating here a little bit, just a little tiny bit. Ripple and Top Speed, man. This was my favorite duo of 2016. Their chemistry was awesome, and throughout the whole story, man, we see the relationship grow to someone that really didn't want to trust anybody in this death game, to someone that just wanted to survive for her own personal reasons. And it was just awesome how those two different characters were able to form a bond strong enough to keep these two together throughout the whole journey. Top Speed even went through some of the same things that Ripple's currently going through, so in a way one needed the other. It was also funny seeing how Top Speed's very cheerful and optimistic attitude kind of always conflicted with Ripple's negativity. Can't really see too much without spoiling anything, so let's keep it at that. Magical Girl Raisin Project is one worth watching, especially for these two characters. Aqua. What can I say about this brilliant woman? She is definitely the smartest, has the most integrity, the most honest woman on this list. Konosuba has 3 of the best girls of the year, so it was very hard to decide who to put. A lot of you guys, man, I know that for a fact, a lot of people have Megumin as the best girl in this series, but I'm sorry, man, I can't put Megumi. She's fucking awesome, but Aqua has to be in this list. She was the OG. She was with Kazuma since the beginning, and the whole relationship between him and her and how they came to be, how they both got to this world was fucking hilarious. I'm sorry. I could hear the word explosion coming from Megumi a million times. But I gotta go with my girl, man. Aqua-sama, the goddess, the fucking queen of the other world, who got outsmarted by a fucking otaku. That's fucking hilarious. Junko Enomisha. Now this girl is fucking insane, man. This girl is up there on a Yuno level. Not a yandere, but definitely crazy. But that's what we want, man. That's what we need. We need these crazy bitches, because we all know there's nothing hotter than a fucking crazy chick that just wants to cause mayhem and destruction and corruption with big ass titties. No, but for real, man, her craziness is what makes her character fucking awesome. She's definitely a very good antagonist, causing problems for everybody for 2 fucking arcs. And she is the main reason why the whole world fucking changed. Now, she is the one that caused the worst thing to happen in all mankind in human history. So, Junko Enomisha, thank you for being crazy. We all knew who was going to be number 1. I think it was pretty obvious from the start. If you can't put her at number 1, I don't know what you're doing. I do not know what you're fucking doing. One of the most popular anime of 2016, you gotta put this girl on the top of that list. And that girl, we all know, man, you're looking at her right now, it is fucking Rem. But for obvious reasons, she is number 1. She is best girl for that series because she got more development, she got more screen time. She was pretty much hooked up with the main MC, but the MC is an idiot. He didn't really see it. And sadly, we feel bad for her. And not only are we sad for her, but the things that she went through throughout this whole series, man, that shit was fucking terrible. Yeah, man. Episode 15. I think that's the episode. Episode 15. You will see why we care about Rem and why we want her to have a happy life and happy ending. And yeah, hopefully, whenever, if there is going to be a season 2 of ReZero, they're better.